it's time to play. And man, the more complex everything becomes, the more challenges that you end up finding. We integrated the truck because we unlocked the truck just recently in one of the phases, one of the tiers, in order to bring copper here. But we also expanded the iron line, and this is what we discovered this morning when we logged in. Okay, I'll just let a visual explain it. We got those two lines that are now integrating some copper in our iron line that should not be in our iron line. So all of a sudden we've got to go chase all that copper down and purge it from the system. But we also have to fix the underlying issue. So today's episode, we're going to start with fixing the truck routes, because we're finding that the way that we've laid out the truck routes is becoming less effective. And let's see if I can get down to show you what's really going on. Okay, so what we have going is we have them stopping in a row here. But the challenge is, if the route is not precise, the truck ends up being picked up by one of these arms at not the truck stop we intended, but the truck stop that it just happens to be a little too close to. So we've got to solve that issue, and I think we have a solution. Well, let's just go and let's see if we can start fixing the issue. So come along with us. All right, so you can see in the front here, we've laid out the truck stops now in a more of a toll booth lane sort of effect, where the tractor will find itself going right through here and then passing through here to get back on the road. So we're trying to restrict them so they don't accidentally go a little bit too close to another truck stop and have it picked up. So we did some testing, and we had a tractor. We went ahead and put power to these three here and had a tractor going in the middle here so that it could, trigger this one or this one, either one. And it went through flawlessly with this center one that it was under the arm, picking up the stock just like it was supposed to, without triggering either the left one or the right one. The problem with having them laid out sideways, we ended up with a situation where if the truck was just a little bit off on its route, or it hit a monster, or it hit another truck and moved off of the route that we drove it, it would pick up or drop off indiscriminately anywhere along the way when it got bumped into that lane. So here we're hoping that the trucks go into their specific lane and get picked up just by their specific truck stop, so that we maintain the purity of what's being dropped off at each one. So we're going to continue building this out and start recording some of those truck stops, and let's see how it works once we get a bunch of tractors running. Now, what we did find is this area here through here is just too narrow for the trucks. And so even though we'd like to have the added capacity of a truck, we're finding out that their lumbering style, or their massive nature, just wasn't very precise in being able to drive it here and there and get it to where we needed it to go. It was overburdened also by the fact that if it ran into another truck, it would get very strongly off of its course. So we're going to go ahead and stay with just using the tractors instead, and get this all set up again. Now, one side benefit of all this is the fact that we've been able to create a much longer number of truck stops. In fact, right behind me, Robert is continuing to build a bunch of truck stops over here. Now, the nice thing about that simply is the fact that we've increased to about, looks like it'll be 14 to 16 truck stops that we can put in this area, rather than the 10 to 12 that we had been working on before. So I'm excited to see our truck routes expanding and being able to be utilized even stronger in the future. So we're going to keep building, and we'll get right back to you to show you what we've done. Well, we've got the trucks all set up. The trucks are running their routes. And as I look around all of these, you see the truck in the background coming in. You see these conveyors, pretty much all bringing product. The coal sending fuel down to the trucks. And each one of these that have stuff coming in look like they're moving right along. Some, of course, have backups that are inside the mall or the factory, so they're stopped up to a certain degree. But you can see that products are coming in from the trucks now, and we're being able to get everything going again like we normally would have expected it to go. So things are looking good. Let's go take a quick gander down at the trucks down below. All right, so now we're down here in the actual truck station, and you notice this truck is going here. They all come down the center just like this, and then they'll go into their individual cubbyhole. And because we've separated them like this, it goes in there just real nice, unloads, and continues out the back. Well, part of the challenge that we had, these can continue out the back and just get on the road normal. They come out back here and go on the road just normal. We did have to make an exception for this line over here, because when they go over here, we didn't want them just crossing over and causing accidents when they came to here. So what we did here is we created a crossover, an overpass, so to speak, where they just became elevated, went over, and then merged in with the traffic going out and getting their next load. Now we had to be particular, of course, with which loads we were having do that, so that we had made sure that the trucks going to this side didn't have to go over to the oil fields that are actually on the turn to the left before that overpass. But other than that consideration, they pass over nicely and they merge into traffic, and away they go. One thing I find is that these trucks are very entertaining in and of themselves. It's like watching teenagers drive. Or fearing how teenagers drive. One other thing. One thing there. So that truck will come in. It'll choose a lane. We have not had a problem since changing this way with a truck dropping its goods off in the wrong place. Since this change, that's a good result. So we've got it all reconfigured. This is kind of interesting way to manage trucks. It's kind of more advanced than what we were doing before, but appreciate your time here. If you liked what you see, hit that like button, and look forward to seeing you in a future video. Talk to you later.